Welcome to Fluent English Daily, the professional way to master the English.
Imagine you do all the work, but your boss gives the credit to your coworker. What do?
Oh, I would be so confused. Do I stay quiet or speak up?
Well, today we'll see how Anna handles a giant misunderstanding at work. You'll learn 3 professional phrases to explain a mix-up calmly.
Wow, I really need those expressions.
You'll love them. Welcome to Fluent English Daily Pro. I'm Emily.
And I'm John. Let's dive in.
So, John, let's look closer at this story. It starts in a very quiet office. It is late at night at Tip Top Trading.
I can imagine it. The office is dark, everyone is at home. But wait, did someone forget something?
Yes, someone left a window open, just a little bit.
Oh, I see. And it was a windy night, right?
Exactly. The wind started to blow through the office. It moved the curtains, it moved the pens on the desks, and then it moved a very important piece of paper.
Oh, was it a secret document?
Not exactly a secret, but it was a note from the boss, Paul. He wrote it for Tom. He wanted Tom to finish a big report.
Tom is the salesman, right? He's usually a bit, well, he's not always organized.
That is true. Paul left the note on Tom's desk, but the wind was too strong. The note flew off the desk. It danced in the air and landed under a different desk.
Let me guess, it landed under Anna's desk.
Yes, right there on the floor, hidden in the shadows.
Wow, so the next morning, Anna arrives. She's always the first one in the office, isn't she?
She is very hardworking. She walks to her desk, puts down her bag, and then she sees it, a note from the boss.
It isn't, but she doesn't know the note was for Tom.
No, she has no idea. She just sees her boss's handwriting. The note says, "Please complete the stock management report for the new laser curved fruit range."
Laser curved fruit. What is that? Is it a real thing?
In this office, yes. It sounds very strange, I know. But Anna doesn't ask questions. She thinks, oh, Paul needs me to do this. I must start right now.
I see. She wants to be helpful. She wants to do a good job.
Exactly. So she spends the whole morning working. She looks at the numbers, she checks the stock, she writes a long, beautiful report.
While she's working, where is Tom?
Tom is probably getting coffee or talking to people. He doesn't know he has a task. He thinks he has a free morning.
This is a big problem waiting to happen. Anna's doing Tom's work, and Tom is doing nothing.
Right. And then the boss walks in. Paul looks very happy. He goes straight to Tom.
Oh no, this is the moment.
Paul says, "Tom, thank you so much for that report. It is on my desk and it is perfect. You are a star."
Wait, how did the report get to Paul's desk?
Well, Anna finished it and put it in Paul's in tray. She thought she was doing her job, but Paul just assumed Tom did it because he asked Tom to do it.
Wow, so Paul is praising Tom for Anna's hard work.
Yes, and Tom is a bit confused, but he doesn't say no. He just smiles.
That's not very nice of Tom. Poor Anna, she's sitting right there, isn't she?
She is. She hears everything. She hears Paul thanking Tom. She feels, well, how would you feel, John?
I would feel very upset. I would feel like my work was stolen.
Right. It's a very difficult situation. You don't want to scream, you don't want to be rude to your boss, but you need to tell the truth.
So what does Anna do? She's very professional, right?
She is. She takes a deep breath, she stands up and walks over to Paul and Tom. She uses our first key phrase.
Oh, I want to hear this. What does she say?
She says, "Paul, I think there's been a misunderstanding."
I think there's been a misunderstanding. That sounds very calm.
It is. It's a very soft way to start. She doesn't say, "You're wrong," or "Tom is a liar."
Right. I think makes it sound less like an attack. It's very polite.
Exactly. It gives the boss a chance to listen without feeling bad. Paul stops and looks at her. He says, "A misunderstanding? What do you mean, Anna?"
Now she has to explain the whole story about the wind and the note.
Yes, but first she uses the second phrase to make it even softer. She says, "There's been a bit of a mix-up."
There's been a bit of a mix-up. I like that. Mix-up is such a friendly word for a mistake.
It really is. It sounds like a small accident, like mixing up two colors of paint. It's not a disaster.
There's been a bit of a mix-up. It's very natural. I think I can use that in my life, too.
Definitely. It's great for when two people have different ideas about a plan.
So Paul is listening. Tom is looking a bit embarrassed now. What happens next?
Anna uses the third phrase. She says, "Let me explain what happened."
Let me explain what happened. That is a very clear way to take control of the conversation.
Yes, it tells the boss, "I have the facts, just listen for a moment." And then she tells him about finding the note under her desk.
Aha, the evidence.
Yes, and Paul is a good boss. He says, "Oh, Anna, I am so sorry. I thought I gave this to Tom, but you did the work."
And what about Tom? Does he get in trouble?
Not really. Paul realizes it was just a mix-up, but he's very impressed with Anna. He tells her the report is excellent.
Wow, so a bad situation turned into a good one for Anna.
It did. She showed that she's a hard worker, and more importantly, she showed she can handle problems calmly.
I really like those three phrases. They feel like a safety net.
They are. Let's practice them together, John. Imagine I think you ate my sandwich in the office fridge.
Oh no, I would never do that.
But imagine I'm angry. How would you start the conversation?
I would say, Emily, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Very good. And then?
Then I would say, there's been a bit of a mix-up with the lunch bags.
Perfect. And the last part?
Let me explain what happened. My bag looks just like yours.
Exactly. See? No fighting, just a calm conversation.
I see. It really changes the energy of the room. Instead of a fight, it's a puzzle we're solving together.
That is a beautiful way to put it, John. A puzzle. Anna solved the puzzle of the flying note.
You know, I think many English learners are afraid of these moments. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing when they're stressed.
I agree. When we're stressed, we often forget our English. We might just say, "No, not Tom, me."
Right, and that sounds a bit like a child.
It does. That's why these professional phrases are like superpowers. They make you sound confident even when you're nervous.
I think there's been a misunderstanding. There's been a bit of a mix-up. Let me explain what happened. I'm going to remember these.
Good, because in a busy office like Tip Top Trading, there is always another mix-up around the corner.
I'm sure of that. Paul seems like the kind of boss who leaves windows open a lot.
He is a bit messy, but he has a good heart, and Anna is learning how to manage him.
She is a great character. I like how she stays calm. It's a good lesson for all of us, not just for English, but for life.
I agree. Being calm is very powerful.
You know, I'm still thinking about those laser-curved fruit. Why would fruit need to be curved with a laser?
Maybe to make it fit better in a lunchbox? Who knows? The business world is a strange place, John.
Truly, but Anna handled it perfectly. She got the credit she deserved.
She did. Even Paul gave her a little extra praise in front of the whole team later.
That's wonderful. It shows that speaking up is important. You shouldn't stay quiet if there's a mix-up.
Exactly. If she stayed quiet, Tom would get the credit and she would feel sad. Speaking up politely is the best way.
I'm feeling much more confident about these situations now.
I'm glad to hear that. It's all about the right words at the right time.
And a calm voice, like yours, Emily.
Thank you, John. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever had a big mix-up at work or school?
Oh, many times. Once I went to the wrong room for a meeting. I sat there for 10 minutes before I realized I was in a wedding planning meeting.
Oh no, a wedding? Oh, what did you do?
I stood up and said, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
That is perfect. Did they laugh?
They did. It was a great way to leave the room without feeling too embarrassed.
These phrases work everywhere, not just in a corporate office.
You are so right. They're very flexible.
Well, we have talked a lot about the story today. I think it's a great time to hear from our listeners.
Yes, we want to know your stories. Have you ever used phrases like these? Or maybe you have a funny story about a mix-up?
Gently, please share your stories with us. It helps everyone learn.
And it's fun to read them.
It really is. Now we are going to look at some of the specific words from the story.
Oh, great. I want to know more about words like initiative and outcome.
We will cover all of those. We will look at how Paul used them and how you can use them too.
I'm ready. Let's dive into the vocabulary section.
Now, John, I am really excited about this part. We are going to talk about some of the special words we heard in the story about Anna and Paul.
I am ready, Emily. I think learning these words helps us understand the story better, and it helps us speak better at work, too.
Exactly. Let's start with a word you mentioned earlier. The word is initiative. It's a big word, but it has a very simple and beautiful meaning.
Initiative. I hear that word a lot in offices. What does it really mean in simple words?
Well, having initiative means you see something that needs to be done and you do it. You don't wait for your boss to tell you. You don't wait for a friend to ask you. You just start.
Aha! So in our story, Anna found that note on the floor. It wasn't for her, but she saw that the work was important. She didn't wait, she just did the report.
Yes, she showed great initiative. She saw a problem, the report was missing, and she fixed it. She didn't sit there and wait for Paul to ask her.
I see. So if I'm at home and I see the dishes are dirty and I wash them before my wife asks me, am I showing initiative?
Yes, John, that is exactly what initiative is. It is taking the first step. It makes people trust you. In a job, bosses love people who show initiative. It shows you care about the work.
That makes sense. It's about being active, not passive. I like that.
Right. Now let's look at the second word. It's outcome. Paul used this word when he was talking about the report.
Outcome. Is that like a result?
Exactly. An outcome is what happens at the end of a situation. It is the final result.
So the outcome of Anna's hard work was a very good report. And the outcome of the mix-up was that Paul was very happy with her.
Yes, outcomes can be good or bad. In this story, the outcome was positive. Even though there was a mistake with the note, everything ended well.
I think about outcomes a lot when I cook. If I follow the recipe, the outcome is a delicious meal. If I forget the salt, the outcome is, well, not very good.
That's a great way to think about it. Every action has an outcome. When we speak English, the outcome we want is for the other person to understand us.
Right, and that leads us to our next words. We have misunderstanding and mix-up. They sound similar, don't they?
They are very similar, John. A misunderstanding is usually about people. It's when one person thinks one thing and another person thinks something else.
Like when Paul thought Tom did the work.
Exactly. Paul misunderstood the situation. He saw the report and thought, Tom must have done this. That was a misunderstanding.
And what about a mix-up? You said that was a bit different.
Yes, a mix-up is a small mistake, often with things or plans. In the story, the wind blew the note under the desk. That caused a mix-up. The note was in the wrong place.
Oh, I see. So a mix-up is like a little bit of confusion, like if two people have the same name and you call the wrong one.
Yes, that's a perfect mix-up. Or if you have two meetings at the same time, you can say, I'm sorry, there's been a mix-up with my calendar.
I like that. Mix-up feels a bit more friendly and less serious than mistake.
You are right, John. It is a very soft way to talk about a problem. It doesn't make people feel like they did something terrible. It's just a mix-up.
I will use that next time I forget an appointment. Sorry, Emily, just a little mix-up.
I will remember that, John. Now, let's talk about praise. Paul gave Anna a lot of praise.
Praise. That means saying good things about someone, right?
Yes, when you tell someone, you did a great job, or I am very impressed with your work, you are giving them praise.
Everyone loves praise. It makes us feel warm inside.
It really does. In the workplace, praise is very important. It helps people feel confident. Anna worked very hard, and when Paul gave her praise, she felt that her hard work was seen.
I think we should give more praise to each other. It's a very kind thing to do.
I agree. I want to give you some praise right now, John. You are doing a great job learning these words today.
Oh, thank you, Emily. That makes me feel very happy. See, it works.
It really does. Now, let's look at the word professional. We said Anna was very professional.
I know this word. It's about how we act at work. But what does it mean to be professional when things go wrong?
That is a great question. Being professional means staying calm. It means using polite language, even if you are frustrated. It means being honest but kind.
So when Anna saw Paul giving credit to Tom, she didn't get angry. She didn't say, "That's mine. Tom is a liar."
No, she didn't do that. That would not be professional. Instead, she used her phrases. She said, I think there's been a misunderstanding. That is the professional way to handle a problem.
I see. So being professional is like having a special work mode for our behavior. We're polite and we focus on solving the problem.
Exactly. It's about respect. Respect for your boss, your team, and yourself.
That is a very good lesson. Now, there was another word Paul used. He had to acknowledge the mistake.
Ah, yes, to acknowledge something. This means to accept that something is true. It means to notice it and say it out loud.
So Paul didn't just walk away when Anna told him the truth. He said, "Oh, I see. You did the work." He acknowledged her effort.
Right. If you make a mistake, it is very professional to acknowledge it. You say, yes, I see what happened. I'm sorry.
It's hard to do that sometimes. It's hard to say we're wrong.
It is hard, John, but acknowledging a mistake is the first step to fixing it. It shows you are a strong person.
I agree. It builds trust. If I know you'll acknowledge a mistake, I can trust you more.
Exactly. Now we have one more word to look at. It's a bit of a business word, the range.
The fruit range? That sounds funny, like a field of fruit.
Not exactly. In business, a range is a group of different products that a company sells.
Oh, so if a company sells pens and they have blue pens, red pens, and green pens, that is their range of pens.
Perfect. You've got it. Tip Top Trading sells plastic fruit. They have a new range of laser curved fruit. It just means they have a new set of products.
I see. So a clothing store might have a winter range with coats and hats.
Exactly. It's a very common word in shops and offices.
Wow, Emily, we covered a lot of words. Initiative, outcome, misunderstanding, mix-up, praise, professional, acknowledge, and range.
You have a great memory, John. I am very impressed.
Well, you explained them so clearly, it makes it easy to remember.
I'm glad. These words are like tools. When you have the right tools, it is much easier to build a conversation.
I feel like my toolbox is getting very full today.
That's the best feeling. And remember, you don't have to use them all at once. Just try 1 or 2 this week.
I will. I think I'll try to show some initiative at home tonight.
Your wife will be very happy about that, and I'm sure the outcome will be great.
I hope so. This has been so helpful, Emily. I feel much more comfortable with these workplace words now.
That makes me very happy to hear. Learning a language is not just about grammar, it's about feeling safe and confident when you speak.
Exactly. And talking about it like this makes it feel, well, it feels like a friendly chat, not a lesson.
That's the goal, John. Now I have an idea. Why don't we take a little break from talking and let our listeners try something?
Oh, I like that. What should they do?
Well, we have talked about the story and the words. Now it's time to see how these phrases feel in your own mouth.
Yes, practice is the most important part. You can listen to us all day, but you have to speak too.
Exactly. So in the next part, we are going to practice saying these phrases together.
Now I'm ready for that. It's going to be fun.
It will be, and don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is just to try.
Right. No pressure. Just practice.
So, everyone, take a deep breath. Get ready to use your voice. We are going to move into our practice section now. Okay, John, are you ready? Let's start our practice section.
I am ready, Emily. I have my water here. I am ready to speak.
That is good. Drinking water is important. Now, for everyone listening, this is how we will do it. I will say a sentence very slowly. Then John will repeat it.
And you should repeat it too. Say it out loud with me.
Exactly. Don't just listen. Use your voice. It doesn't matter if you're in your kitchen or on a bus. Just say the words.
Maybe say them quietly if you are on a bus.
Yes, maybe. Okay, let's start with our first key phrase. It is a very polite way to start. I think there's been a misunderstanding.
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Good. Let's try it again. I will break it into two parts. I think
I think
there's been a misunderstanding.
there's been a misunderstanding.
Now let's put it together. I think there's been a misunderstanding.
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
That sounds very professional, John.
Thank you, Emily. It feels very calm.
It is. When we say, I think, it makes the sentence softer. It is not like we're angry.
Right. It's like we are solving a puzzle together.
Exactly. Let's try it one more time. Imagine you are talking to your boss. I think there's been a misunderstanding.
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Perfect. Now let's try the second phrase. This one is a bit more casual. There's been a bit of a mix-up.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
Good. Let's break it down. There's been
There's been
a bit of a mix-up.
a bit of a mix-up.
Now all together. There's been a bit of a mix-up.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
I like that word, mix-up. It sounds small, like a little mistake.
Yes, it doesn't sound scary. A bit of a mix-up.
Right. Let's say it again. There's been a bit of a mix-up.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
Wow, John, you sound very natural.
Really? I feel like I'm getting better.
You are. Now let's try the third phrase. This is for when you want to explain the story. Let me explain what happened.
Let me explain what happened.
Good. Let's break it. Let me explain.
Let me explain.
What happened?
What happened?
Now together. Let me explain what happened.
Let me explain what happened.
This phrase is very strong. It shows you are ready to be honest.
I see. It's like saying, I have the answer.
Yes. Let me explain what happened.
Let me explain what happened.
Excellent. Now let's practice some sentences from the story of Anna and Paul. This will help us remember the words.
Okay, I like the story.
Me too. Let's start with the window. The window was left open.
The window was left open.
The wind blew the note.
The wind blew the note.
Good. The note went under the desk.
The note went under the desk.
Anna found the note.
Anna found the note.
She found it in the morning.
She found it in the morning.
Now, let's use a word we learned before. She showed great initiative.
She showed great initiative.
That's a big word. Let's try it again. She showed great initiative.
She showed great initiative.
Very nice. She wrote a report.
She wrote a report.
The report was about fruit.
The report was about fruit.
The laser-curved fruit range.
The laser-curved fruit range.
That is a funny one. Let's try it again. The laser-curved fruit range.
The laser-curved fruit range.
Smiling, Paul was very impressed.
Paul was very impressed.
He praised Anna for her work.
He praised Anna for her work.
Gently, it was a positive outcome.
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 Let's go back to the phrases for a moment. I want to try them in a little role play.
Oh, okay. I like role play.
I will say something to you and you use one of the phrases.
Okay, I'm ready.
John, why is there a coffee stain on my book?
Oh, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
That was good. Let's try another one. John, you said you would buy the milk today.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
Oh, I see. And what happened?
Let me explain what happened.
Wow, John, you used all three.
I did. They fit together very well.
They really do. Let's practice that sequence for everyone. I think there's been a misunderstanding.
I think there's been a misunderstanding.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
Let me explain what happened.
Let me explain what happened.
Gently. Perfect. Now let's try some other sentences from the workplace. I thought the meeting was at 10.
I thought the meeting was at 10.
There's been a bit of a mix-up with the time.
There's been a bit of a mix-up with the time.
I'm sorry about the mix-up.
I'm sorry about the mix-up.
Smiling. That is a very good sentence. People like it when you say sorry.
Yes, it makes things easier. I'm sorry about the mix-up.
Let's try another one. I sent the email to the wrong person.
I sent the email to the wrong person.
Oh, there's been a bit of a mix-up.
There's been a bit of a mix-up.
Let me explain what happened.
Let me explain what happened.
Gently. You are doing so well. How are you feeling, John?
I feel good. My mouth is getting used to the words.
That is exactly what we want. Language is a physical thing. We have to train our muscles.
My mouth muscles are working hard today.
They are. Let's try a few more. The boss was very happy.
The boss was very happy.
He acknowledged my hard work.
He acknowledged my hard work.
Let's try that word again. Acknowledged.
Acknowledged.
He acknowledged my hard work.
He acknowledged my hard work.
Smiling, the outcome was very good.
The outcome was very good.
We have a new range of products.
We have a new range of products.
Gently, I used professional language.
I used professional language.
I explained the error.
I explained the error.
An error is another word for a mistake. I explained the error.
I explained the error.
Very good. Now let's try the whole story in short sentences. One last time.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
The window was open.
The window was open.
The wind blew away.
The wind blew away.
Anna found the note.
Anna found the note.
She did the work.
She did the work.
Paul was surprised.
Paul was surprised.
Anna explained the mix-up.
Anna explained the mix-up.
Paul was impressed.
Paul was impressed.
It was a great outcome.
It was a great outcome.
Warmly, wow, John, we did it. We practiced so many sentences.
This was a lot of work, but I feel great.
You should. Practice is the secret to learning.
I agree. I hope everyone at home feels the same way.
Gently. I hope so too. Remember, you can listen to this part again and again.
Yes, repetition is our friend.
It really is. Now, I have a small favor to ask our listeners.
Oh, what is it?
Well, if you enjoyed this practice, please tell a friend about us, or you can leave a comment and tell us which phrase was the easiest for you.
Yes, please do. We love reading your comments. It makes us feel like we're all in one big classroom together.
It really does. And speaking of our community, it is time for my favorite part of the show.
Is it time already?
It is. It's time for our question of the day.
Oh, I love this. What is the question today, Emily?
Well, today we talked about misunderstandings and mix-ups. So my question for you is this. Have you ever had a misunderstanding at work or at school?
That is a very good question.
And what did you do? Did you use professional language to explain it?
I want to hear these stories. I'm sure they're very interesting.
Me too. Think about it. How would you explain your mix-up using the phrases we learned today?
That is a great way to practice.
It is. So everyone, take a moment, think about your story, and if you want to share it, we're listening.
I really do. I want to hear from our listeners.
Me too. Misunderstandings happen to everyone, right?
Exactly. It is just a part of life.
Let's repeat the question for everyone.
Shh. Have you ever had a misunderstanding or a mix-up at work or at school?
It can be a little scary to talk about mistakes.
It can, but using our phrases makes it easier to speak up.
Right. It makes you sound professional and calm.
Exactly. To help you, Emily and I have 5 examples.
Oh, good idea. Let's look at them now.
First, an office example.
Okay.
I once sent an email to the wrong person. I told my boss, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I sent the report to the wrong manager.
That is a good one. I see. It is honest.
Second, a school example.
I remember school.
I forgot my homework. I told my teacher, there's been a bit of a mix-up. I left my notebook on my desk.
Aha. That sounds very polite.
Third, a meeting time.
Oh, I do this sometimes.
I went to a meeting at 2 p.m., but it was at 3 p.m. I said, let me explain what happened. I wrote the wrong time down.
It happens to the best of us.
Fourth, a group project.
Group work can be tricky.
My partner and I did the same task. I said, I think there's been a misunderstanding. We both wrote the same part.
Right. That is a clear way to explain it.
Last, a simple one.
I like simple.
The waiter gave me tea, but I wanted coffee. I said, excuse me, there's been a bit of a mix-up. I asked for a latte.
Perfect. 5 great examples.
Now it is your turn. We want to know your stories.
Yes, please share them in the comments.
You can use the phrases, there's been a mix-up, or let me explain.
It is a safe place to practice. Don't worry.
Exactly. We're all learning together.
I'm looking forward to reading your stories.
Me too. It's nice to hear from everyone.
It really is. It makes the world feel smaller.
Well said. Now, let's think about what we learned.
Yes, let's take a moment to remember our new words together.
We learned today that mistakes are okay. They happen to everyone, even at work.
That is so true, John. When a mix-up happens, we don't need to be afraid or nervous.
Right. We can just use our new phrases, like, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Or, let me explain what happened. It sounds so calm and very professional.
It really does. It helps people understand us better and solves the problem quickly.
I feel much more relaxed now. Learning English should feel good, just like this conversation.
I agree. You are doing a great job. Please take your time with these new words.
Yes, practice them when you feel ready. Remember, we are always here for you.
Well, it is time to go now. Thank you for spending time with us today.
Goodbye, everyone. See you again next time.
Bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely day now.
Congratulations on making it all the way through the lesson with Emily and John. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button right in the center of your screen so you never miss our next lesson. You can also check out more videos right over here on the left or right side. We've picked them just for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.